right, y'all ready to get started?
That wasn't very encouraging.
I'm ready to get started, so let's get started, because I want to get out of here. All right. How many of you have volunteered with us before? Give me a show of hands.
Loud.
Okay, that's pretty good. Glad to see some first-timers here. That's exciting. I'm sure the ones that have been here before didn't think they had to come tonight, so that's probably what happened. Anyway. All right, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my beautiful wife, Jenna, and she'll take it from here.
Just to echo what James said, I just want to thank everyone so much for being here and just kind of give you our why for why we have this volunteer training. This is a much bigger event than I think when we started, and we're going to tell you just our quick history, but when we first started, I don't think any of us saw how big this was going to be, and so there are 275 registered guests for this event, which is amazing. Which looks like over 300, almost 350 of you, and plus about 150 parents who will be staying on site, plus our amazing St. Lucie County Sheriff's deputies who are on site to both be buddies and also help with our parking and everything like that. So when you start thinking about that, that is a lot of people. And so it's really important to us that all of you know exactly your roles, where everything is, so that the night can just run smooth and ultimately just so that we can keep our guests safe and make sure that they have a really good time. And hopefully that they want to come back year after year. We know our guests look forward to this, and it has been 3 years since we've been in this room, so I'm so excited to be back. And we did a Facebook post introducing ourselves last week or something, but my husband and I started as volunteers. We belong to Genesis Community Church, and I think I started as a buddy, and I think he started running the computers or something, and I don't think we ever thought we would be here leading this event, but we're excited to be the organizers and to get to know you guys. But none of that would have been possible if our pastor at Genesis had not said yes when the Tim Tebow Foundation first started. So I'm going to let him, this is your phone. So I'm going to let him just welcome you guys. We're going to open in a prayer, and we have a little bit of our history we're going to share with you before we get into the event.
All right. Well, I want to thank all of you for participating, for taking that step to volunteer. Just looking around, the majority of you, this is your first time volunteering to be a part of this event. It's going to go down in your memories. It's probably one of the most exciting times in your life. And just to be able to see the smiles on the faces of the participants, it's going to be well worth it. So I want to thank you for being a part and touching and changing a life. Let's start with a word of prayer, and then we'll get on to the rest of the meeting.
He's holding the bottom.
Almighty God and Heavenly Father, we just come to you and thank you and praise you for an opportunity to be able to reach out and to touch a life. A life of somebody that, Lord God, so many in society have thrown to the wayside and have not given them the respect and the honor that they are due. Father, we thank you for the privilege of being able to be your representatives in reaching out and touching their lives and making a special moment, a special night that they are going to remember, Lord God, that's going to impact them, that they'll be speaking about for years to come. Father, I just pray blessing upon each person as they've given of their time and as they've given themselves. Father, we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I think it's you're holding the bottom of the mic. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. As Jenna said, we started this with the Tim Tebow Foundation in 2015. It was the first year that Tim Tebow Foundation sponsored and kicked off the Night to Shine. And we were one of the first 48 churches. That first year there were 48 churches that participated in the Night to Shine. And I believe there was one out of the country, I think it was actually in Haiti. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what was going to be taking place. And to see where it's grown, it's been phenomenal. That first event we had, I believe it was 120 participants. and 150 volunteers. So you can see how much we have grown. It's more than doubled. And if we had more volunteers, we could have more participants. But there's a limit on how many participants based on the number of volunteers. So thank you so much for your participation and giving of yourselves and being a part of what God is doing and touching lives through this particular event. And we've just seen it grow over the years. And to be able to expand to where 3 years ago, where James and Jenna took it over and were able to bring it here into the Finn Center. And of course, the last 2 years, it's kind of been on hold because of the COVID. I mean, I know we did the drive-through events over at the Met Stadium, but it's not the same. And I know the participants that have been to them in the past are so looking forward and so excited to being able to come together at a live event and to be able to come into this facilities. And I know the big thing is going to be they're looking forward to dancing.
Hey, what's up, volunteers?
Tim Tebow.
Hey, what's up, volunteers? I truly just want to say thank you so much for saying yes to being a volunteer at Night to Shine. It really is my favorite night of the year. It's how me and my wife met. It's not just my favorite year because this is something that God put on our heart years ago. It's my favorite night of the year because I get to see so many of you guys loving so well. I get to see so many volunteers walking kings and queens down a red carpet and cheering for them and celebrating them in a way that most have never been celebrated. And I just hope you understand how important your role is. Your role as a buddy. Your role as someone that's cheering on the red carpet. Your role as someone that is crowning someone. Your role might be in the back. But how important that role is. And how we all fulfill our roles with excellence, because every single one of those lives is worth us doing it with excellence. You see, it might just be a night where we can volunteer, but it's a night where they might actually understand that they're loved, that they have worth, that they have value. So let's do our jobs with excellence, because there's a lot, and I mean a lot at stake. So thank you for saying yes. And I hope you understand the magnitude of what you're saying yes to, because I don't believe it's just a prom night. I believe it's a worth night, a value night, a love night, where people for the first time in their life might understand that. It's a special night. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for partnering with us, because who knows what God's going to do. But I think he's up to pretty big things.
So as Pastor Dave said, we've been doing this locally here since 2015, 2014. And as he mentioned, we moved this event here to the Finn Center in 2020, and then we were able to do a drive-through event in 2021, and we're already kind of looking ahead. So if you're interested, we're going to have a kickoff meeting on March 27th at Genesis Community Church, just to have a brainstorming and a planning meeting. So if you think your role is planning, if you've got the kind of brain that can help us figure out logistics or ask for donations or food, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we'd love to have you there. And make PowerPoints, because this all takes time. So we'd love to have you March 27th at 6 at Genesis Community Church.
Yeah, definitely make PowerPoints. I made this morning. So. One thing that we at least want to emphasize, that I know it's through, everybody knows it's through the Tim Tebow Foundation, and we use that as, our branding, because this is a Tim Tebow sponsored foundation event. But they contribute maybe 10% of what it actually costs to put on. And when we first started it, we were able to do it with our church and a couple of volunteers to get everything going, but it's turned into, we'll have upwards of 800 people in this building on February 10th, and we're trying to feed all of them. We're trying to get drinks and ice and registration, and it's turned into a major thing, and it costs us about $15,000 to put this event on. So and we could do, we could take more money, but we do it as leanly as we can. And we want to say thank you to all the sponsors that we've gotten this year. Here's all of them. We've got a lot of food donations and our photo booth sponsors and people that gave us money to make things possible this year and make it as fun as we can for our guests. So we just want to make sure everybody knows that this is a locally funded and locally planned event. When you get an email from TC Night to Shine, it's from me or Jenna. Like, that's it. The phone rings to us, so thank you for your patience, because it's just the two of us. Okay, enough about all that. Let's go ahead and get into the day of the event and our timeline. This should be on everyone's printouts that they got. So this is just an overview here. We'll go over setup. We're going to be here all day Thursday, 10 to 5 on Thursday. So if some of you have signed up for setup, it'll be 10 to 5 on Thursday. There is several jobs that aren't just moving things, like we're not just setting up. We've got bag stuffing, crown. We've got to assemble the crowns and put them in the bags, and the lightsaber things. We've got to take the plastic off. So if you're not able to, move our 40-foot plants that we bring in, we have some other jobs if you're able to make it. So Friday, we'll be here 9 a.m. for setup, and we plan to be done by 3:30. With setup, we've got parking attendants. The St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office will be in place by 3:30, and we'll go over the logistics of the map and everything in a couple minutes. I know 4:30 is difficult for a lot of people with jobs, but we got to do it to get people here on time, because our guests will start arriving probably at 4:30. Because they like to get here early, because they like to dance and they like to party. So they know it starts at 6, but they will be here early. So we want to have everybody in place by 4:30, and I know some of you aren't able to do that. Just get here as soon as you can and be ready to go, and go right to your place through check-in. Check-in, everybody should have a ticket on Eventbrite. So when you have that, bring it on your phone, print it out. That'll make check-in a lot easier. So we just scan it, we know where you're at, we hand you your name badge, and you can go, and you know right where you're going. So it'll make everything a lot smoother. If you were here in I'll get into logistics in a minute, but okay, so registration will start with Kings and Queens at 5 o'clock. So we'll start checking them in and get into the building at that point. Okay, so later on, main doors at 5:30. We'll open the red carpet. I'll go through the map where the red carpet's going to be, and 6:25, we'll start with a prayer. Hopefully enough people will be in the building at that point. And then 7:15 is where we need all the buddies to be paying attention, because this will be the actual crowning ceremony. So there's a video with Tim Tebow, and you will be physically putting the crown on your buddy's head. Pretty exciting. So you're there to crown them at 7:15. So we'll announce it, and there'll be the video and everything. So just make sure, if you're in one of the other rooms with your buddy, if you're in karaoke or somewhere, try and pay attention to the time and migrate into here by 7:15, so we have everybody in the room and ready for crowning. 8:45, karaoke will be closing down. Final thank you and all that, and then we'll get into the dismissal situation in a couple minutes. We're going to need your help on that. Okay, I know these screens are tiny. I don't know if you can see this, but this will all be emailed out, and it's all on the website already. Doing things a little bit different than 2020. We're going to do registration outside, buddy staging outside. If you can see that one big blue box, it'll be marked with signs when you get here, but we're going to have all the buddies in one location, so we know where you're at. So when the guests get here, we can assign you to your buddy, so to make it as smooth as possible. So parking, we'd like to keep volunteers. If you're able to walk,
We'll have the people mover.
We'll have a people mover too, but we want to try and keep volunteer parking like as close to the tennis courts as we can, just to leave room for guests and parents and all that can park up closer. And then we'll have a people mover if you need to get bussed in. Entry will be from the easternmost entrance down by the tennis courts, not the one at the tennis courts, but the next one. So there'll be no entrance here right off of Virginia, right here at the Fence Center. The sheriff's office will direct you where to go and all that, so just follow the directions. So the loop here will have the guests drop off right here in front of the main parking lot, and then they're going down the sidewalk and they go into check-in with Kings and Queens, and then they continue down the sidewalk and paired with your buddy. I've got a little more detailed map here somewhere. I thought I did. Did I put it in here? Okay. So we'll get to that. Okay. Well, I can talk about this. Well, all right. This is just what's going on. I'm going to tell you, I know you all have individual jobs, but this is the activities that we're going to be having at the night of. We've got karaoke in the back room. The red carpet's going to be right in here. It was just like paparazzi, a step and repeat, just making them feel like they're entering, a big movie premiere or something, making it really fun. Entrance with an announcer. They'll get the name announced when they come in. We'll have photo ops at the red carpet and a photo booth that's going to be over here in the corner. Professional portrait photos provided by Mr. Barry Allsbrook, the main man with the camera over here. It's going to be taking photos in the back room and printing them on site, and they'll take a picture and then they got it printed in their hands right away. Professional photos, we've got the guest prep rooms with hair and makeup, boutonnieres, corsages. Limo rides are going to be out this door over here, looping around. We'll have a loop around somewhere, and some of you have been assigned to the limos. And then Jenna's going to talk about food.
Yeah. So when we did a survey, one of the number one things from all of our was our guests was they wanted more time to dance. They wanted more time to dance, more time to, so we sat and we looked at the schedule and we thought, where are we losing time? Where are we losing time? And we were losing time trying to plate and serve a seated dinner. And with the expectation that all the buddies would sit and they would eat, it was just, we were just losing time. And so what we're gonna do this year is we will have 5 food stations. Some of you will be working them. Those of you who are buddies will be helping your buddy get to them. And we went really simple with those food options. So it's pizza, pasta, chicken, snacks, which will have popcorn and some other snacks, and dessert. All of your guests will have 5 stars on their wristband, and that indicates kind of like their 5 tickets for food. So if they want to get, I hope nobody eats 5 pieces of pizza, but if they want to get 5 pieces of pizza, they can go there 5 times. They can get one of everything. They can, kind of space it out. We didn't want to leave it open-ended because that makes it really hard to plan. And we know some guests may not eat any of it. If you have a guest that comes to a food station and they've already used all their stars, please give them whatever they want. It doesn't really matter. That was kind of our expectation. Those of you who are working food, you'll see how that's kind of going to work in your food station. 4 of those food stations will be in here. We are using the entire room this year. So if you were here before, we only used the front 2/3. We're going to use the whole thing this year. So we'll have lots of space to set those food stations up, and there's a concession stand actually right outside this door, which will be the 5th food station. So make sure that you're visiting those with your buddy, or that they know that those are options while they're here. And and that's it about food. Yeah, and so this is just a map of the interior. We've set up the banners, so before you leave, take a look around, get a sense of where everything's going to be. You can kind of glance down the hall and see where they're all going to be. In the limos are the only thing that's over here. But this, again, will be emailed out and will be on our website. The biggest room that kind of, I think, got missed last year was our karaoke room, and we don't want that to get missed because it's very popular once they get in there. But I don't think a lot of people knew it was back there, so make sure your buddies know that that's an option, or your guests know that that's an option to get back in there. So this is the exterior map that he was saying was a little bit more zoomed in. So you can see there will be tents. I know we're asking you guys to be outside, and that might be challenging since we don't know what the weather, but there will be tents for you. We'll have chairs out there for buddies to sit in while you're waiting. But we will have 2 areas that we're gonna kind of flag off where we expect a buddy to be standing in that almost on deck, if you will, if you've played baseball, like on deck. So that way, if that spot opens up, if you're a buddy and that spot opens up, make sure somebody's standing in that spot, because we will be coming over and grabbing the next buddy, matching you with a guest, grabbing your buddy, matching you with, so your role as a buddy is to pay attention to that spots, and make sure that those are full and that we've got buddies on deck ready to go. If you're a part of a group home and you're here tonight, there will be a separate group home check-in. So if you've got questions about that, please see me after. We'll talk about group homes, but we have a separate check-in for that as well. So, and I apologize, my mom was supposed to be doing this part, but she was on a plane from Chicago and she is not here yet because that flight got delayed. So I apologize because this is her script, not mine. But just to kind of our basics for being a volunteer. This facility feels really, really big and it feels like there's tons of space, but what there is not is space for your stuff. So please don't bring anything extra that you cannot like hide in a pocket or clip to your dress, or I don't know. There will not be any space for you to like put your purse or anything like that. So please don't bring anything else in that you don't possibly need. Please eat before you come. We will have some volunteer food for afterwards. That was another big feedback, like y'all were hungry when it was over and we're sorry. So we do have some volunteer food that's coming, but it's probably gonna be 9:30 before all of our guests are out of here. So if you're like me, I had a shake before I came here because I wouldn't have made it till now without dinner. So please eat before you come. Wear comfortable shoes. These are my new Night to Shine shoes. They're beautiful. I would suggest they're very shiny. I love them. I would suggest this is, again, a very large building. You will be walking a lot. So we want you to be dressed to impress, but we also don't want your feet to hurt and have blisters or see everybody running around barefoot, but whatever makes you happy. And so, yes, dress to impress. So I always tell people, like you're going to a nice wedding or like you're going to prom. Most of our volunteers do come semi-formally dressed. So don't feel like, oh, this is too much. Like I'm overdressed. You cannot be overdressed. It's prom. So please come dressed up. Please, no jeans. We will not allow you in. If you show up in jeans, that's a Tim Tebow Foundation guideline, which is really strange. But that's one of their like hard lines, no jeans. If you're working in food service, please feel free to dress a little more comfortably, a little more reasonably. Think like catering staff, black pants, dress shirt, things like that. But please, you're not expected to wear a prom dress unless you want to while you're serving pizza. Please know that we are going to be here and available to help. We will have an information booth set up that will be staffed throughout the night. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but please know that we're here to help you. Of any of us that will have a different colored badge that marks us as we mark them as ants, a Night to Shine, ants team. So any of us with that badge will be able to help you. And I already talked about meals. There's a beautiful picture of Miss Larissa getting crowned as a queen at our event in 2020. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about the crowning ceremony, which is really, it's just a cool moment. So when you're meeting your buddy, like I talked about, somebody should kind of be in that on deck. You will be handed a card about your buddy. So that card will tell you just a little bit about your buddy, their name, any food allergies or preferences that they have. We have about 25 guests who will need to have their food cut up. So just make sure you pay attention to that. When you first get introduced to your buddy, just introduce yourself. Always introduce yourself to them, the parent or the guardian that's with them. It could take them a few seconds. You are someone they don't know. Some of our buddies, that's not a big deal. They're ready to party. They're here for it. They're going to go with you, no problem. But some of our guests, that is very overwhelming. And the registration process might be very overwhelming. So just be prepared to take your time if that's what that takes. Let them lead. Let them lead really throughout the night. This is their night. And so if they want to hang out in the karaoke room all night, then you're hanging out in the karaoke room all night. We had a guest in 2020. I would love it if somebody who was her buddy is here. That girl must have walked the red carpet 75 times. And what was beautiful was like every time she got back on the red carpet, it was the first time. The red carpet group was just like, they were cheering. They were like she was signing autographs as she went on. Like, it was so much fun. So like, this is their night, and if that's what they want to do, like, and it's safe, like whatever, like let them have fun. So please let them be the lead, and then pay attention to how they're getting home. So again, if you were here in 2020, you will know that is where we failed, is how we let everybody dismiss, but we have fixed it. So our guests will have different color bracelets this year. If their caregiver is staying on site, they will have a green bracelet. If the caregiver is returning to pick them up, or they drove themselves, we do have guests who drive themselves, they'll have a blue bracelet. If they're a member of a group home who's providing transportation, they will have a gold bracelet. Why does this matter? Because those 3 different groups are going to get out of this building. Hey, Mom, she made it. already did your part. You're done. Oh, wait, you got another slide coming, so come on up. So if the caregiver, and this is spelled out on your buddy's sheets, but we want it to be like everybody is going to need to play a role in helping us get all these people out of the building safely. It's a lot of people, and everybody does not fit out that front door. That's what we tried in 2020. Did not work. So in those of you who have a guest whose caregiver is staying on site, you will rejoin their caregiver in the prep room. So the prep room where they went through to do like hair and makeup and all that, that room is where they will rejoin their parent. There are side doors. They will be exiting out those side doors and coming around the front of the building that way. Those who are using a group home have a yellow or gold, yellow, that looks gold, but it's yellow. Yellow bracelet, they will be meeting up with their group home transportation in this back corner over here. And those who are staying, who have a blue bracelet, so that means their caregiver dropped them off and is coming back to pick them up, we will be operating like everybody here is, most of you have done school pickup, right? Everyone's sat in a school pickup line. It's gonna work like that. Uh-oh, I just pulled my mic off, sorry, Barry.
Keep talking.
So that's we're gonna be utilizing a program called Silent Dismissal. Has anybody here used Silent Dismissal at their school? No, great. So Silent Dismissal works, the parents will be leaving with a card that has their guest name and number on it. The number is going to match the buddy card that you're getting. So remember that card that has a little bit about your buddy, it's going to have like 25 in the bottom. You don't really need to worry about that. What you do need to worry about is when the parent comes through the parent pickup line, their card's going to get scanned. 25 will get scanned in, and your guest name, their guest name will come up on the screens in here. So that guest, no guest should be leaving the building unless their name has come up on the screen. So, and it will tell you what lane that parent's supposed to be in. So it'll say, you know, Jody Morris, lane 2. So that you know that you need to get your guest, get them out.
So just to piggyback on the silent dismissal, one of the things to just kind of keep in mind is that kind of time they're going to be starting to get anxious because they're going to know they're leaving. So it's going to really be your job to really just severely chill about dismissal. So it's still just you can stay, that would be best for them and just the whole system. So being a buddy, when you get assigned to your participant, it's going to be your job to just kind of show them a good time, and you're going to need to make sure that they get through all of our little stations that we have, not necessarily in order. So however you can get them through, because there may be a line in one place that would be okay if you decided to just go ahead and move on to another station, that would be okay. So don't feel like, oh my goodness, I have to do it all right now, I have to do it all in this order. You need to make sure that if they don't want to do something, that's okay too. You know, the one thing we want to just really try to make sure you get them to is getting their photograph, their special photograph done. Anything else, if they don't want to do it and they just want to go dance, then so be it. You know, the reason that we cut down the food,
Yeah.
Sorry. The reason that we cut down the food is because the main thing we kept hearing was they want to dance, they want to dance, they want to dance. So it's your job to get in here and get them dancing. You know, like it says on the screen, make sure you kind of let them lead. Big, nobody outside. There shouldn't be any outside. We're not doing any smoking area. We've had that problem in the past. So, you know, if they are absolutely dying and saying they've got to have a cigarette, then please come find one of us and we'll figure it out from there. I don't know if we have a plan for that, but in the past we've had a few smokers that got to get outside and have their cigarette. Please make sure when you get your card with them, you know, take 5 seconds for yourself and really make sure you read over that card. Some of our participants will have a dietary restriction, so just kind of glance at it. It'll tell you real specifically if they do. Most of them don't, and they know if they do, but just on the safe side. Also, if they're a participant that has major sensory issues, if you could just kind of keep that in mind and just kind of watch them. You know, you can read them. If they're you can tell that if they're starting to like spin a little, that they might think this is just too much. Take them to the choir room, let them chill out. Take them to the arts and crafts table, let them color. You know, what just somewhere to just kind of bring them back. You know, they don't have to stay in here. And then, you know, it's talking about emotions. You know, most likely when it's time to leave, the emotions get a little higher. So just kind of, you know, read your audience, read your participant.
So I keep saying, like, come get help, but here's how to get help. So if throughout the night you have any kind of issues and you need help, number one, there will be an information booth here in the lobby. There will be staff that is with someone who knows what's going on. It's an immediate need, you can find any of us who are on the A Night to Shine team. We'll have a different colored name badge, you'll be able to recognize us. Visit the quiet room. The quiet room will be staffed with medical professionals, so if you're even questioning if it's any kind of a medical situation, please visit the quiet room and encourage your guests to be in there and rest a little bit. Every room will have a radio, so even if you're in the karaoke room and you start to have some kind of an emergency, that room will have a radio. Somebody in that room will be able to help you contact one of us to get help. For true emergencies, you're having a true emergency, there's a medical emergency, safety issue, something like that, please just access one of the sheriff's deputies that will be here. There will be so many, you just wait. And they will be dancing their faces off, and it is amazing. But they are also here able to serve as a deputy if we need them. So please feel free there to access one of them if you need it. And if for some reason you have an emergency, so like you get a call and your house is burning down, please bring your buddy to the information station before you leave. Please never leave your buddy alone. If you have any kind of something happens and you need to leave, please, please, please don't leave your buddy alone. I had one lost buddy last time and I had to find and save. Let's not do that again. And then these are very random needs, and none of you are signed up for them, but I need people who might be interested in wearing costumes. So we will have some roving photography opportunities. So we kind of skipped over the coolest thing. We do have the 501st Legion who will be coming as Star Wars characters, stormtroopers, et cetera, but we also, too far. There they are. They were there at our 2021 event. They're a lot of fun. They're also very silent, which is a little creepy for me, but it's super fun. But I still need someone who may be willing to be our Cinderella and somebody who may be willing to be my Prince Charming. I will say that they are both pretty slim costumes. Even though I bought extra larges, they're slim. I also have an Olaf costume, less slim. Anyone can wear Olaf. It's an inflatable one. It's a lot of fun. You don't have to stay in it all night because I hear it gets a little warm and sweaty in there. It has been cleaned, I promise. And I also have a unicorn costume because why not? Also an inflatable, also don't have to wear it all night. But if you're interested in either of those, if you can just let Jill or Joanna at the registration table know so that I can make sure that you have those costumes on the night of our, you can't keep them, you have to give them back. But all right, so,
it's things that we need. We've got 255 participants signed up right now with 80 on the wait list that I'm trying to get to sign up, which it's a whole mess with the wait list, but anyway. So if you have any friends or family that are still considering it, we could still use a couple more buddies because my fear is they think they're on the wait list, but they're just going to show up. So we're going to have 350 participants here, not enough buddies. So if you have a couple of people, friends or family that might be interested, you can still sign up online and we'll put you in as a buddy. So I just want to say that. Okay. Any questions for the group that we can discuss? Go ahead.
Come early to help set up. Would it be a place to change into more suitable clothes before the event?
Yeah, we've got the bathrooms all the way at the end of the wall here, locker rooms. So that'll be for parents and volunteers. So yeah, if you want to stay for setup and then need to change, absolutely, can use that.
But there's no place to securely hold your stuff, so you'll have to take it back
right.
outside. Okay.
Yeah, there's not actual lockers in there, okay. But we're gonna use them. Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead. It's whatever they want. If they'll drag you up there and you want to do a duet, they'll take you up there with them. So we'll have an actual stage in the karaoke room with a ramp for wheelchairs. So yeah, we had several that definitely wanted to bring their buddy up there and sing with them. So be prepared to belt it. Yeah.
the only thing we would ask you not to do as a buddy is to the limos, and that's just because we've got 3 limos. They're big Sprinter vans, and we can push people through pretty quick. We didn't really have a huge line for the limos last time, but we only have 3. But if your buddy is really like, no, you are coming with me, by all means, like crawl on in and ride with them. But if you can convince them to ride by themselves and be like, I'll be waiting when you get back, that's the route we prefer you to go. We will have a volunteer in each limo, you know who you are, who's just gonna ride in circles all night. I did reach out to those people and I'm like, so you don't get car sick, right? And so there will be somebody in there to make sure everything stays safe, and that if there's any problems, they'll be available to assist. But we would ask that you don't do that. But that's the only thing. Everything else, please party.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. She's asking if it's okay to take pictures with the buddy or with yourself or as the buddy. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Ask your guests.
Ask your guests. Yeah, make sure they're okay with it. I doubt anyone will care, but yeah, take as many pictures, put it on social media, do whatever. We like to, social media, how much fun this event is, because it's a good time. The other question was about karaoke. If nobody heard that. It was if your guest wants to take you up to karaoke, they might not. They'll definitely tell you if they want you to. Go ahead.
Yeah, if they drove themselves, then I would just escort them as far as that center sidewalk, make sure they get across that center sidewalk, and then law enforcement will be able to help them across to their vehicle and from there. Great question, thank you.
Yeah, don't go through the middle of the parking lot, because that's where the lanes will be. So there's a sidewalk that you can skirt around and get out to the main parking lot. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so as long as we really don't have a minimum, we've got goals, we've got several, 16, our minimum to be a buddy is 16. But if there's other younger volunteers that are coming that are going to help us in food service and places like that. So.
Yeah.
Yes, and then green.
Will there be more wheelchair accessible vans on handicap spots?
Yeah, so the parking spots that are here in the front that are are assigned as designated wheelchair spots will be available for unloading and loading. But they won't be able to. Their vehicles won't be able to remain there. It'll just be like an unloading and loading spot.
Yeah, so that's right. The right-hand side of the screen here is all handicap parking. So that'll be, the sheriff's office will handle that. If somebody needs to unload, then they'll go unload and then go park somewhere else. We want to keep those open so people can come in and out as much as possible. Go ahead.
So when their name comes up on the board that the ride is here, and they don't want to leave because they're having too much fun dancing,
Great question. Jody, you want?
I would.
Okay, question was if your guest caregiver is here to pick them up and they don't want to leave, what do you do?
I would say just start preparing them ahead of time. We're going to watch up here, we're going to keep dancing, but we're going to be watching, so make sure they're prepared so it's not a shock. And then just, okay, and if they're really giving you a hard time, then once again, come find one of us. We'll try to be in here, definitely at that point. When we know silent dismissal is starting, then we're going to really make sure that, and if we know a lot of them, so we'll kind of help you get going if you look like you're having a problem.
Yeah, I mean, most are going to be pretty tired after raging for 3 hours, so they'll probably be ready to go home. Did you have a question, Becky? Yeah, you'll still need to check in with the volunteer registration. It'll be right where the buddy staging area is. That's where we're going to do volunteer check-in when you get here. You see it on the map there? Yep. Okay, you had one here?
So if you have friends who sign up late, how do they get trained and get their assignment?
So we recorded today's Barry, you did that. I did that. We're recording tonight's training, so we're going to send that out to everybody that isn't here because we're missing about 100 people tonight. So we'll send that out to everybody, and we will, most people that sign up afterwards are going to be a buddy, but we'll do our best to tell them beforehand, but if not, they'll just get their assignment when they check in, when they get here. The question was if you have somebody that signs up now. I keep forgetting to repeat the question. Okay, Mary Ann, go ahead. Huh? Oh, yeah. The legendary Jeff Moore from the Jeff and Dana show from the radio back in the day. He was our red carpet MC in 2020, and we're very excited to have him back this year in 2023. So he's going to be the handsome guy in the tuxedo announcing the red carpet that they're coming in. He's really awesome at it. It's really fun to watch. He's really great. We love Jeff. So I'm very happy to have him back. Thank you, Mary Ann. I forgot about that. Go ahead, Diane. Unfortunately, we have discontinued the horse and carriage rides. In, I think 2018 was probably the last year we did it because it just proved to be too difficult to get individuals in and out of it. And it took forever, and we could only do 2 at a time, and it was very expensive. So we decided to do more limos, and that was the number 2 thing that everybody liked in 2020 was dancing and then the limos. So we're not doing the horse and carriage anymore, unfortunately. It's just not possible. Okay, any other questions? Missy? If the entire wait list shows up, we need at least probably 50 more to be comfortable, I'd say. Okay. That was, how many more volunteers do we need? I keep forgetting to repeat the question.
If things like everything worked out beautifully and everybody showed up and we had more buddies than we needed, that's okay. We're gonna get you in here on the red carpet. Because our red carpet's a little sparse right now because that's, we've got everybody assigned in other places because we are running right at what we need for volunteers. So if there are overflow, people get here and they don't get matched, we'll put them in here on the red carpet, which is just super fun anyway.
Yeah, there's always, every year we have volunteers that sign up and don't end up showing up for whatever reason. So we can always use extra. And yeah, like she said, the red carpet's gonna be in here instead of in the hallway. So we can fit 100 people at the red carpet if we need to. So it's definitely better to have more than anything.
The red flowers.
Red flowers, sure. More than one buddy with somebody? Jody, we've done it, yeah.
More than one participant? More than one guest with one buddy. Like, we have a young girl that goes to our church and every Sunday, sorry. But the question was, would we put more than one participant with one buddy?
Sorry,
We have a
you
young
have to
girl
really
at
do
our church
questions.
and she corrals me every week and says, now I only want one buddy, because she's coming with her boyfriend. So, yeah, if you're comfortable with being, you with a couple or something like that, I would ask, and say, so yes.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
If any of our guests need assistance with toileting, everybody's take them to the restroom.
Yeah, so you'll take them to the restrooms. The restrooms are right here outside the store. We do have bathroom attendants.
No, I mean assistance.
We'll have the bathroom attendants. Yeah. I hear the bathroom attendants is like a party. I don't know, like last year, and there were a lot of people that were like bathroom attendant, and then I forgot and Mitch walked in and was like, we had so much fun, and I was like, in the bathrooms? All right.
Surprised anybody signed up. Hey, take it. Any other general questions for the group? Go ahead.
It doesn't apply to me, but if we had high school students, could they possibly get community service credit?
The question was if we have high school students, community service hours, absolutely. We filled out a ton of forms in 2020, so just get us the stuff and we'll fill it out. Absolutely. We need volunteer hours. Yeah.
And I was just going to shout out Morningside for having so many high schools.
Yeah, Morningside High School is coming for us this year. Yeah, get here as early as you want.
No, I think later.
Oh, later. Okay, yeah. And get here as soon as you can. That's why we're going to do the buddy staging, so at least the people that are here on time we can go ahead and pair them, and then people can fill in as they get here. They're going to be here a little bit late, after 4:30, a buddy. So we're just, yeah, the timing is crucial, but if you can't be here on time, hopefully enough people will be here on time that we can get buddies paired and get partying. Okay. Anybody else? Am I missing one? Okay. Oh, sorry.
How about if your buddy is your own child? Do you want us to buddy you with him? The boys? Rusty? Yes. Yeah. Do you want us to make sure you're together with him? Yes. Okay.
There was an option on the form if you had. Okay.
Oh, you can come.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do. It's
Come
fine.
here, buddy.
Or just come with your buddy. And, yeah. I mean, at 5 would be best. Yeah. At 5. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Get them all out now because I don't want to answer a bunch of emails tomorrow.
So we will the subs out a little bit in here. Jill, again, if you're interested, Jill or Joanna, if you're interested in being Cinderella or any of those roles, let them know for us. We'll space ourselves out in the room so you can come and see us if you have any additional questions. Please, okay, go ahead.
After you're done speaking, are we going to get to walk around?
Yes, that's what I was going to ask. So please, before you leave, walk around, just kind of see where everything's going to be. This prep room, all of those walls will be open. It will be a much larger space, so that if it looks tiny, you'll know why. But yes, please take a look around. And thank you guys for being here. Okay.
So everybody's leaving.
Yeah. Promptly at 7. I promised everyone an hour.